Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Just so happens I have ended up being the first speaker for the day. So welcome. I hope you have a wonderful day. There's going to be some amazing speakers. But what I'm here to talk about is Feng Shui and how it can transform your life and how easy it actually is. So the whole basis around my presentation is that it's not you, it's actually a house that's not supporting you. So I have a few slides here. So I will go to those and share my screen. Now, I apologize, there is quite a bit of information, but I do want to give you as much that makes sense as possible, but not too much that it confuses you. So let's go to the slides. So yeah, Feng Shui is all about energy and about having a home that actually supports you. So I have experienced 4 different homes now that I have Feng Shuied, and the difference between from moving in to when it's been remedied has been incredible. All right, so what has it done for me? So how did I get into it? 2016, everything was going wrong. Good morning, Georgia. I was running 3 businesses that were making money, but it was leaving just as quick. So I had a virtual assistance business, I was running a painting business, and I had a martial arts school. My ex-partner was super sick. I had adrenal fatigue and our relationship was terrible, and we had ongoing legal issues. So discovering Feng Shui was my last resort to fix absolutely everything. In the past 8 years, it's brought me close to $500,000 that I was not expecting. So that's not through salary or jobs. That's through different avenues, through tax returns, through I got a compensation payout, and then I sold my house recently. Oh, no. Let me enter full screen mode. Why is this not? Apologize. Give me a second. There we go. That would be better. So I got compensation payouts and all sorts from implementing Feng Shui. I've been able to end some pretty toxic relationships. One was actually abusive, and the other one was just obviously the one with my ex-partner. It was just not working. And I've done a lot of personal development. It's actually made it very easy. And I'm now currently living my life's purpose, and I live my life by design. So what actually is Feng Shui? So Feng means water, wind, and Shui means water. It's an ancient Chinese discipline whose philosophy stems from the connection between the physical and invisible unseen vibrational world. It's based on the laws of physics, natural cycles, common sense, and good design. And the good thing about it is you don't even need to believe in it. It will work anyway. So what it's not is about painting walls and having gold furniture. I know that's what a lot of people think. That's a lot of what happens with it, but that's not the case. It's an ancient Chinese art that is thousands of years old, and it originally was used to find the best location for burial ground, which then moved into elite homes or palaces, and then it was banned by China in the 80s. And that's where a lot of Feng Shui that you may know of came to the fore. So in essence, it's harnessing the energies of a home to create flow and abundance, allowing prosperity to flourish in all aspects of your life. So whilst there's a number of schools of Feng Shui, I practice the classical Flying Star School, which is a traditional version. We place remedies of the elements fire, water, metal, and wood, and earth in the home in order to balance out the energies. So the energies will change from different parts of your home, dependent on what we call the different annual numbers that come in that change every February during Chinese New Year. So what is required is determined by where the house sits on the land by way of the compass direction to the degree and the construction date of the home. So every home is very different and will have different effects on the occupants. So my reports are 100% bespoke to you and your home. So this here is the element wheel. Everything we do, so each of the elements we work with either has an enhancing or producing, weakening or destructive effect on each other. And it's a careful balance to create harmony in your home. So as you can see there, fire will weaken wood by burning it. Wood will weaken water, because obviously a tree will use water to survive. Water will rust metal, and metal comes from the earth, so it will disrupt the earth. And then you obviously have the destruction as well. Water will put out fire, fire will melt metal, earth will dam water, and metal will cut down tree or wood. And then the productive cycle is obviously water will enhance wood, wood will enhance fire, fire will turn into earth, and earth creates metal, and then so be it. So and water is metal creates water by way of dew and that sort of thing. Okay, so where does it start? Every home has its own birth date. I know that sounds weird. We don't have a party. There are no party hats or whistles, but every home does have its own birth date, and it's determined by when the roof is put on. So as I said before, wherever the house is placed on the land, where it's constructed, that will determine what type of home you have. So you've got good for money, good for people homes. You've got bad for money, good for people homes, good for money, bad for people, and bad for money and bad for people homes. Now you're scratching your head. So as I've said previously, it's determined by two things: the year it was constructed and the direction of the compass it's situated. But everything can be fixed. So have you ever had a feeling of bad luck or things just constantly going wrong for you? It may well be that your home is the cause. It has nothing to do with how old the home is, what suburb you live in, and no, it does not mean you need to burn your house down or move. So what does it actually mean? So if a home is good for money, typically it will mean that no matter what happens in your life, for example, unexpected bills or other expenses, the money will always be readily available. It's not something you can explain, but it appears to be that way. If a home is bad for money, you'll potentially be able to make decent money, but it leaves just as quick, a bit like water running through your fingers. Or perhaps you can't get ahead. You constantly have unexpected bills, never have enough money to pay for them, you've constant feeling of stress in your life. And this then can also have a compounding effect on your relationships and your health. So if it's bad for people or good for people, it will mean that relationships with your beloved ones could be strained. There could be issues with health, struggle to keep employment, potential behavioural problems for children, or mental health issues. In its simplest term, life just feels really hard and you don't know why. You're doing all the things right. And that's just what happened to me. I couldn't work out why nothing was going right for me. And it ended up I had a bad for people home. And then, of course, the opposite is true for those in a good for people home. All those blips that you come across in life are easily navigated, and life just seems to be reasonably easy. So when you look at this in its entire sense, you may know people that have been incredibly lucky, and you don't like, what are they doing differently? The analogy I used the other week was, we're all aware of the super ads, or the you know, with the industry super ads. You know, Mary puts in $100 a month and Claire does the same, but then Mary ends up with a lot of money at the end, and Mary ends up with Claire ends up with less. It's exactly the same. Two people doing exactly the same thing, they're getting a different result because their home is not supporting them. So that's the analogy I like to use, that makes things a little bit simpler. So I have a quiz for you that available that you can work this out. So I will post the details of how you can find out in the comments later. But in the comments, who would actually like to know what type of house they've got? I'd love to hear. Okay, so you might have heard before of the Bagua. And this can be a little contentious because of the different types of schools of schools of, of Feng Shui. But the Bagua doesn't change in its format. North, if you're working with flying stars, which is what I work with, north is always north. Other schools of Feng Shui may have north as your front door, and then the other ones will so north will be your front door, and they'll say the southeast is your back left-hand corner. That could be if your southeast is actually in, well, sorry, that area is actually in southwest. So we actually work on the actual compass direction. So the easiest way to do that is for you to stand in the middle of your home and work out where north is. So get the compass out of your phone, work out where north is, and then just rotate in a clockwise direction and find out where your actual compass directions are. But each direction is reflective of something in your life. So different areas can be enhanced depending on what you want to bring in, be it money, love, a better career, or lots more. These enhancements are determined by what the numbers tell me when I run them for you, and then what needs to be fixed. This is also where color comes into the equation and what we need to be careful using. So color is really, really important. There's a lot of places like I love color. Hello, I'm in this green top and I love wearing color. But in my home, I keep things very neutral. And then where I need particular remedies each year is where I move things around. So we would never recommend feature walls because they potentially could be damaging to the energies in your home. So if you needed, say, water in an area and you've got a lot of green, then that's a wood element. So we would never recommend that. So instead of having a painted green wall, you'd bring the greens in soft furnishings or artwork, which can be moved around and changed out every year. So that's how we bring color into the home. And then that also ensures that there's no, like we use fire, we use red, that doesn't cause anxiety and anger and things like that. So it's a balanced approach. They say this is a generic Bagua. So you can have success if I can't guarantee. You can have success if you add these particular elements in those areas of your home. But for an accurate reading, you would need a classical flying stars consultant to do that for you. And if I click on the actual screen. Oh, I've gone too far. So this is, what have I done? So this is what you would get in your report is your floor plan. And it's all marked up for you in the 9 equal areas. And that this is what you can do yourself to work out where your directions are. You can draw a floor plan of your own and stand in the middle, like I said, and then work out where north is, and then work your way around each of the guas, and you'll be able to find them for yourself. And then you can work from there. All right, so I'll just go through a couple of areas that you can activate, which are always important to people. Love and relationships is one of the obviously major areas that people like to activate, and it is in the southwest of your home. Now, love and relationships, especially for obviously adults, you want to activate this area, but they can also activate your bedroom as well. So once it's activated, you will start to see a revitalization of your relationships, or if you're looking for a new one, you may very well begin to see some action in that department. The Southwest should include imagery of couples or at least items in pairs. Be careful of what artwork is placed in this area, as images of single people can have an effect of repelling relationships. And that goes for artwork in your entire home. Really have a look at what you've got and what it actually means to you, because it might be a nice piece of art. There's so much art that I love, but the underlying message it's giving me, I would never have it in my home. So just be like, go around and look at your artwork with fresh eyes and see what it's actually telling you. You'll be quite interested in what it will actually say. Your wealth and abundance area is your southeast. The southeast, your home, is where we go to activate all things money, wealth, and abundance. A lot of people put together a wealth altar specifically to help this. You may place anything there that make you feel abundant. It could be anything. What abundance means to you is different from everybody else. So for you, it might mean images of luxury items. But for others, it might be images of their family that might make them feel very abundant. But things to consider placing in that area: a small bowl of coins to indicate the riches coming into your life, a check to the universe, and flowers or plants or anything that represents growth. So good things are a lucky bamboo or a jade plant and that sort of thing. When it comes to bringing in abundance, also think about your front door. Give your front door a clean and pop a jade plant at the front door to welcome the money in. I would never recommend putting a jade plant at your back door because that's sending the money out. But also make sure that your front door can be found or your home can be found. Put a brand new street number on it because the postie needs to know where to send those big checks to you. All right, so what could I expect from implementing Feng Shui into your life? So there's absolutely no end of possibilities for what it can bring into you once implemented. I've had clients with children who have not slept a full night in their life to finally sleeping through. I've had a client who's wanted to walk out of their front door and never go back to the home to now feeling at peace in their home. And others who have major wins of refunds of money, 10xing their businesses and improving their relationships within hours, days, and weeks. Anything is possible. And I know all this sounds very complicated, but what I do for my clients is take their floor plan, data construction, compass readings, and some information from you about what is going on in your life to create your bespoke personal home report. This report will tell you the type of house you have and what we need to do to harmonize the home for the best prosperity and abundance. It is a very exciting process. And once it's all done, we sit back and watch your life change for the better. And I can literally tell you, this can make changes in days, hours even, when people have actually placed their remedies in. And it's a really, really exciting process because what you tell me in your questionnaire, the house will actually tell me when I run your report. So it's intriguing to me and fascinates me. So you provide me the information and I give the report and we work through it together. So as for working with me, I do have a number of ways. I do have a group program. I've got a one-on-one Zoom program, in-person VIP package as well. If you're looking to buy the perfect home, I can help you find the best one for you, which in this market with it slowing down, you've got a bit more option and time available to you to find that. And if you're looking to build a house, we can actually design a supportive home from the ground up. So if that's something you're looking at doing, then we can certainly do that for you as well. And I've put there a QR code that you can scan to my link tree. It's got all my links. And there's a link there in the description. You can join my free group where I give a heap of free tips and hints that you can implement for free as well in there. And I go live and what have you as well. So, all right, let me just go back through. I've got 10 minutes and I know you're going to have a lot of questions. I know I've just given you a lot of information. So let me go back through the questions or the comments here and see what I can answer for you. All right. Georgia, certainly feel the different energy through my home spaces. Yeah, it's this year, the center. I'm pretty sure Leanne's going through this on Sunday with this year, the energies for this year. But the center this year is particularly negative energy. So definitely keep that area fully decluttered and get rid of everything you don't need because you want to be bringing space for good things in. Thanks, Carissa, the element wheel. Great, Georgia. I will put the, yes, I'll put the link in the actually I'll put it in now. I'll put the link in the chat, and then you can register for that. It'll be coming out in the next couple of days for the house type. Okay, so Georgia, you'll use the back door as your front door. Yes, and a lot of people do that. So to me, I fully respect any consultant doing what they do. If they're getting results for their clients, it's fabulous. It doesn't make sense to me. North is north. So your front door shouldn't be the north and the bagua, because that could be, it could be east. So I like to obviously be as accurate as possible. With your front door though, if you do use your back door, make sure you're opening your front door daily to let the good chi in, because otherwise it will become stagnant, because the house knows where the front door actually is. So just open it up for a couple of minutes a day and then shut it, but just let all the good chi come in. Lucia, your feature wall might be okay, depending on what element would actually be required. And also plants is very interesting. If your plants are not growing where they're placed, the energies might be against them that year. So most recently, I've moved into this beautiful apartment where I am, and I had a fiddle leaf fig out on my balcony, and it just was not coping at all. And we know fiddle leaf figs are very fickle at the best of times anyway. So I moved it back inside, and then I placed it in where I actually need metal, and it still wasn't doing very well. So then I thought, I'm determined not to kill this plant. I want it to survive. So I've actually moved it here into my office, and I'm looking at it right now. And I actually need fire in this area. And what I have found time and time again is that where you need fire, plants go mental. I've also got an orchid sitting here that is got new growth as well. So it's just test. I do a lot of test and measure on things, because some things work and then some things don't. And it's literally because of the energies. I do the same when working with my clients through interior decorating. No feature walls, introducing cut. That's a great suggestion, Georgia. And feature walls, they date really quickly. If you're going to do a feature wall, keep things as neutral as possible. Just don't use bright colors. Like if you were using grays and things like that, that's different, or different tone of a particular color, that's fine. It's keeping it. But if you're going to put in like oranges and purples and pinks, and especially children's bedrooms, keep it incredibly neutral. Obviously, kids' bedrooms are as busy as they are anyway, and you want to keep things as low key, because they've got to sleep in there, and color activates issues with sleep. I can share the bagua image. That's fine. Thanks, Rage. Going to get some coins. Brilliant. Just put them in a little bowl, and you don't need a huge amount, just a small bowl so that overflowing is perfect. Fake plants, don't recommend. Now, I don't recommend them, and I know they can look good. I don't recommend, because they're not real for a start, so there's no energy attached to them. They get really dusty, and they get forgotten. So they're just actually not incorporating anything into your life. That's interesting. I've sent the quiz there. Nikki, I know there's such a difference when I remedy my business space. It was actually so unreal. I'm so glad, Nikki. We can't grow plants in a house. You may well be able to, K Rose. It will depend on where the best place for them is. The energies might be off for some of your place in your home. Where is my office situated? In my home. I work from home. I'm in Kangaroo Point. The location is actually in the northwest of my home. So the Travel and Helpful People Gua. So I'll stop sharing. So have we got any other questions? I've got 5 minutes left. Let's keep them coming. What else can I tell you? I've got so much information in my head. What else? Other tips I've got for you. Other tips. Kitchens. Keep your knives off the bench. Put them in your cupboard. The reason for that is that knives are actually a weapon. So if you're in a high fire, high emotional area like the kitchen, put them away. Put them under your bench or in the drawer, and you'll see a difference. So one of my recent clients have had issues, like her and her partner have been arguing a little bit more than what they would normally. And when I attended, the first thing I saw was the knives on the top of the bench. And I said, you realize this is in your love and relationships area? Put the knives away. And they did that. And instantly they've stopped fighting as much. And they also had an image of some people fighting. Like it was a old Greek image of people actually boxing. And it was in the center, which is reflective of self. And that's now been taken down. So, yeah. Alicia, no, just off the bench at all. Take them, put them in the drawer, put them in, you can keep them in the knife block, just put them in the cupboard. Bring them out when you need them. Mirrors. Yes. So in the entryway of your home, if you have a mirror that's facing you, if you stand in your doorway and you can see a reflection of yourself, that mirror needs to go, because you're sending the chi straight back out. That is very interesting, Lucia. At least your knives would be sharp. Sharp. So mirrors also in the bedroom. I highly recommend, you just need to sit on your bed, and if you can see your reflection in the mirror, cover it over, because it's bringing an extra image of a person in the room with you. So if you have problems with sleep, or if you're in a relationship and things are a bit rocky, it's bringing a third person energy in. So cover up the mirror. Oh, you're always fun. Oh, so married to a butcher is like being married to a plumber or an electrician, is it? Also, keeping your toilet seat down. Don't want to be flushing away money. And if you tie some red ribbon around the outgoing pipes of all your sinks, that will also stop money from running out of your home. And what else? Oh, well, while I'm on here, I'm presenting again in the morning. Do you want to hear the same presentation again, or would you like to hear something different? And if so, what would you like to hear about? Would you like to hear about artwork? Would you like to hear about love and relationships, or activating that? Let me know what you want to hear in the comments, because I can talk about anything. I can talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles. Thanks, Lucia. Okay, artwork. There are so many interesting topics, and it blows my mind how this actually works for people. So I'm more than happy if you want to connect with me in any way, please do. But yeah, go off and join my group as well if you like. And some of the things, what do you mean, Adrian? You want to see some of my remedies? This is one right here, water. That's one of the remedies. That's how simple it is. A jar from Kmart with a pump in it. All right, well, I will Keep commenting and let me know which ones, and I will oh, the red ribbon. Just tie any red ribbon. So red ribbon. Just tie it around your outgoing pipes and under your sink. All right, it's 10 o'clock. I've got to jump off for the next person. So thank you. Please let me know what you want to hear tomorrow, and I will present away. Have a great day.